Hey guys, welcome back. And boy, I feel like we say this every year, but honestly, 2023 has been a kind of a mixed bag when it comes to the world of gaming. You know, there's been quite a few flops, some duds, some games that just never even really got off the launch pad. So some of those games we'll go over right now. One of them being Redfall, which honestly, I'm going to sound biased, but I could tell it was going to be a dud even before I saw gameplay from it. I just looked at the cover art for it and I'm like, man, this game just looks like it's got failure written all over it. It just didn't take off. It didn't have any purpose. It apparently fell flat when it came to the co-op and the missions. It was just kind of a boring game. Games like Gollum, which honest to God is more of the same thing. Who asked for this game? Who actually thought, hey, I want to play a whole game as Gollum? I mean, this game was so bad it actually got the developers shut down. They basically walked away and said, we're done making games. Then we've seen games like Starfield be delayed now for the second time this year, I believe. I think this is the second time that Starfield has actually been delayed for 2023. And of course, this is at the behest of Xbox. They don't want to have another dud. Rightfully so. Redfall was pretty embarrassing. But it's not just the delays and the duds and everything else we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of stuff with the actual culture around gaming that have been pretty contentious as well. Things like the Nick Merckx Call of Duty skin getting pulled, which resulted in Tim the Tatman going, hey, pull my skin as well, over some very not controversial comments that Nick Merckx made about not going and, indoctrinating children. I think that was a pretty fair thing for him to say. So now, how does Call of Duty respond? Well, they have never even come out and apologized. They have never reinstated his skin, but instead we're getting Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg for the 50-year celebration of hip-hop. I mean, this is what gamers want right here, right? I mean, maybe some. Getting to play as Queen Nicki, I mean, that's just, that's some next-level gaming. That's some pro gaming shit right there. So, honestly, I'm really confused about, the response from Call of Duty, and it just kind of shows that they literally don't know what their audience wants. And that's the problem with most modern gaming studios. They just don't care or don't know what the audience wants. This is going to take us to our main story here about the supposed leak about the next, the upcoming Assassin's Creed game, which is another franchise that just has basically, they've driven themselves down into the depth of irrelevancy. Literally, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since I think it was Unity, the one in France, and I was so bored. I finished that game and I'm like, I'm done. I just don't care anymore. Since then, I think they've had, 4 more, maybe 5 more? I've lost track. But basically, the supposed leak is that there's going to be an African samurai as the protagonist. Supposedly named Yasuke, but that is not even confirmed. Yasuke being a African man that was taken to Japan and basically served as a samurai, but not even Okay, so get into the backstory of this man. And there's really not much there. Of all the famous samurai they could have put in this game, they are supposedly going to be using this guy here, which the long and the short of it is, he didn't really do anything. He just served as a personal bodyguard. When shit hit the fan, he surrendered. They didn't know what to do with that because samurai are supposed to commit seppuku, right? They're supposed to actually disembowel themselves. So they sent him back to the Jesuits where he came from, supposedly. And that was it. That was his entire story arc. That was the real life of this man. So when they had all these other characters, these real life historical characters they could have used, actual Japanese people, they chose to make an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, but not use a Japanese person in the role of the assassin. When that is what they have done for every other game. When they've been in Egypt, they used an Egyptian. When they've been in Greece, they've used a Greek person. When they've been in early colonial America, they used a Native American person. When they were in Italy, they used an Italian. In France, they used a French person. Literally, this is common sense. But for whatever reason, supposedly this is what's going to happen. And I'm kind of hoping that this is one of those things where it's just going to be a side character and not the main character, and that'd be fine, that'd be cool, whatever. But I don't understand what everybody has against Asian people. It seems like there's this actual movement to replace everybody who's white or Asian with somebody who's dark-skinned, and it's crazy. Because there are so many fascinating stories that you can look up about Japanese people and Japanese culture all throughout the Dark Ages, all throughout feudal Japan, fantastic stories of these guys that were complete badasses, but supposedly this is what we're going to be getting instead. It's just sad. It's a shame. It's like, there's no reason they couldn't have this character in the game. But if this is the main protagonist, that is a slap in the face to anybody who's an actual Japanese person or people who want to play from a historical Japanese perspective. Because, I'm sorry, it's just there is so much better than this. There's way more to work with than this. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think down below. Is this kind of a non-issue? Are you even going to bother playing this game? I'm not. I'm done with Assassin's Creed. I got so bored with that franchise. Once they killed off Ezio and Desmond and all the rest of them, after Black Flag, I think is when it really went downhill for me. Maybe Assassin's Creed 3, I can't remember. But let me know what you think on the comments down below, and we'll see you on the next one.